It appears you avoided your car insurance.
Hopefully, I am allowed to leave this way. Like, time to go.
I don't think we have time. Let's go. Put in drive. Go.
Oh no, I don't like that.
Hey, don't look in the rearview mirror, okay, Chet? What is happening?
Turn around.
Oh yeah, turn it on.
Hold on.
The hood's up. I can't see. This is not gonna end well.
Hello everyone and welcome to a special presentation of Pacific Drive from Ironwood Studios. My name is Blake, I will be your driver today, and I'm sitting with...
Seth. I'm the game director and lead designer on this here video game, Pacific Drive. And we're just picking up in the middle of a trip here. And so I'm going to kind of jump into talking a little bit about what we're doing and what our current goal is. And then as we get deeper into this little stream here, we'll show you some of the garage back at our kind of home base, and sort of the rest of the game loop. But for right now, Blake's got, some damage to their car.
I tried.
Yeah, it's sort of an inevitability out here in the Olympic Exclusion Zone. So actually, sorry, before I tell you too much about exactly what we're doing right now, I'm going to let Blake just kind of poke around, look for some resources. I'll tell you a little bit about Pacific Drive and what the game is. So Pacific Drive is a first-person driving survival crafting game. It takes place in the Olympic Exclusion Zone, which is a sort of irradiated, anomalized version of the Pacific Northwest on the Olympic Peninsula in Washington State. And basically the game opens with you, driving down, you're doing a delivery, and something pretty wacky happens and you get sucked into the zone, which is this, like I said, anomalized area that's kind of surrounded by this 300-meter wall built some years ago to keep everyone out and keep the bad stuff in. You end up on the inside of that wall, which is an exciting development for you. And basically the main thrust of the game is you trying to kind of figure out what's going on with this car that you find, as well as, make your way back out and escape this rather gnarly area. And generally, it's sort of the only way out is through situation. So over the course of the game, you're going to make a series of expeditions into the zone from your home base, the garage that we'll see in a few minutes. And each time you're collecting resources, gathering materials, and trying to survive to the end of your run, so that you can come back to the garage and use those materials to kind of upgrade your car and kit it up so that you are better equipped to go deeper into the zone, so that you can get new resources to further upgrade your car, so that you can kind of find the mystery at the heart of this whole thing. So yeah, that's kind of the table stakes. Oh, and it looks like we have a little bit of a greeting here.
Yeah, I'm getting a little toasty. I'm just gonna keep moving.
So in the zone, everything is covered in what we call instability, which is basically like weird weather in a way. It sweeps through these different areas of the zone, and it will kind of destabilize matter and shift things around. So there are parts of the game that are procedurally generated. The different anomalies and resources that you're seeing in these levels are placed at runtime using those procedural systems, and the instability is kind of the lore that makes that happen. And you can see on the mini map there on the ARC device in our passenger seat, there's this circle closing in. So
I did not notice that, actually. Yeah.
So that's not usually a good thing when a circle is collapsing on you.
Yeah.
Especially in the year of our Lord 2024.
Yeah, something's coming.
Video game.
Something's coming.
So at this point, Blake's been driving around this level, collecting some resources for about 15 minutes or so, maybe 20. And we heard this siren, and now we have this yellow circle on the map, which is kind of like the I guess way to think about it is like the sort of storm front coming in. And it gets a little bit nastier if we linger too long. So at this point, even though, it would be really nice to kind of heal up the car and like take our time, we probably want to start making our way towards the exit. You may have noticed a moment ago on the minimap, there's an arrow like with an orange background.
Nope.
Hello, Wriggling Wreck. Just popping up to say hi.
Nothing like a little bit of spicy electrical damage to ruin my day.
There you go. So yeah, Blake's heading down this hill in the interest of making it out alive in one piece. Not stopping for too many resources at this point, but once we kind of get to our next junction on our trip, we can take a breath and heal ourselves up, heal up the car. Speaking of the car is really the heart of Pacific Drive. So this is a survival crafting game where most of the survival mechanics are kind of transposed onto the car itself. So the resources you're most having to worry about are like the structural integrity of the car. You might want to hit up that shelter.
Okay, so what okay, that's not good. All right. No. Okay. The car has picked up some. Well, it's got a mind of its own. We'll put it that way. No, I barely out of the corner of my eye, I saw this quick little shelter over here.
So this is a repair and charge stop. So there's a meter on the side there. It shows you how much kind of juice it's got left. And basically, we got pretty lucky here that we happened to stumble on this thing on our way out the door. And it gives us some repairs on the vehicle as well as some battery charge. Only a limited amount, though.
I can't believe that we had enough time to do that. the yellow advance wave is rolling in, and it's just like, hey, before you go, why don't you patch yourself up a little bit?
Just a little spot touch up. That will mean that we may not get to show off the repair putty for a little bit longer, but that's okay.
I don't know. I kind of know my driving style, so
there might be a collision or two in our near future.
We might have to do some on the road fixes.
So we'll pause here for a second, and I'll talk about this screen. So, like I was saying, that sort of yellow circle, the instability is coming in, and it's kind of chasing us out of this level. So we got to the exit, the sort of access point, and that brings up this level transition screen, the route map, which from this point, we planned our destination here to that junction that's just north of us, and we are going to stick with that plan. But if you wanted to, you could, based on either how your run's going so far or just changing priorities, whatever it might be.
Yeah, foolishness. Foolishness. It says high instability. I'm going to go to this place. It's super dangerous. Yeah, why not? Why wouldn't I go there?
So if Blake was feeling adventurous, they could slam it in over there. But because A, that's covered in instability, which means generally it's pretty gnarly. And B, this junction here that we've got hovered is a highway exit. We're gonna go to this one. And when we complete our run from this highway exit, that's actually going to open up a new shortcut. So as we kind of uncover more and more of the map, that'll allow us to kind of get to where we want to be a little bit faster.
Which is helpful, when you don't want to run into everything or you don't have a lot of time to spend in every map.
A highway route tends to be a little bit safer and more relaxed, but you got to earn it. So here we are. We're in one of these backroads levels, which is kind of like a less populated area, but there'll still be, a few buildings.
No, not
a
again.
few friends here to greet you, and usually plenty of abandoned vehicles as well for you to kind of keep an eye out for and scrap for parts.
Hey, speaking of those abandoned vehicles,
I don't recommend you spend much time around.
Did we just pass one? I totally missed it.
maybe not. I don't know. Oppie is giving us some directions right now.
Oh yeah, may as well mention that since it's popping up. So we're hearing Oppie over the radio right now. There's a few characters that are have been living in the zone, and as you find yourself here, they get in contact with you, and they're kind of there over the radio waves helping you.
Every time we stop to talk about something cool and interesting, interesting happens.
We're doing this all live, so I was mentioning earlier, there's procedural aspects of the game, and that means that whatever script we may have developed is kind of constantly going out the window. So bear with me as I switch topics pretty frequently. So yeah, the main things that you're doing on any run are collecting resources so that you can kind of maintain your car, as well as keep an eye out for these things called anchors. And we'll grab that in a second. There's one just behind us here. Blake's doing a little bit of repairs first.
Remember how you just said that you weren't sure we'd be able to use...
Yeah.
Come on!
Oh no! This is maybe not the
goodness.
safest place to be doing our car maintenance.
I just didn't want to lose more car.
The zone had something to say about that.
Yeah. So get back in the car.
So, so the anchors are this energy source. Basically, you know, the one of the organizations that was here in the zone before we arrived was trying to keep the zone at bay, basically. And one of the ways they were doing that was installing these anchors, which basically serve to like soak up some of the energy from the instability, which kind of keeps it a little bit more restrained. Not totally restrained as to be safe, but we're kind of gonna keep our eye out, keep our head on the swivel for these anchors. Once Blake's got his car, you know, reasonably repaired up, we'll pop over there, grab that, and slam it into this thing called the arc device in our passenger seat. Once the arc device has been charged up enough with this anchor energy, then we can, provided we are also in a location that is like stable enough to support this endeavor, use that anchor energy to open up a gateway, which is going to be a big beam in the sky that we drive into with all reckless abandon in a mad dash to try and get out before the storm that comes with it catches us at our heels.
Seth, did you ever play Hot Potato?
A little bit, once or twice.
So picking up an anchor, they're irradiated, and
Oh, yeah.
it is very much just, you know, a nice little irradiated potato that you're throwing over to the car.
Yeah, and actually that like, so I was mentioning, you know, the heart of the game is the car.
Goodness.
And that's one of the ways that we're kind of reinforcing that. Like, you know, you can get out on foot and hoof it and go and pick an anchor and bring it all the way back from halfway across the map, but that hike is going to hurt because it's going to be irradiating you that whole time. So, yeah, like I was saying, the car really is kind of the heart of the game, and the game is very much about kind of like the player's experience and relationship to that car. It's very much a symbiotic relationship where it's kind of, you know, you take care of it and it'll take care of you. If you're in the car and the car is reasonably intact, you will be protected from basically any incoming damage. There's like a few exceptions to that, but you can worry about that when you get your hands on it. Generally, though, you're protected if you're inside the car and the car is in good shape.
I was wondering why I didn't have any lights.
Yep, that'll do it.
My battery's toast.
I think you've got a jumper in the trunk here.
It doesn't look like it.
No, we don't. Maybe we can craft one. So, sorry again for the constantly changing topics, but survival crafting game, you've got storage in your trunk. You've also got a craft mat there, so you can make basic stuff while you're out on the road, but you do need your car to do it. You can't just craft on foot. So again, you know, you can get out and roam around and explore and gather some resources on your own, but you're not going to want to stray too far from the car. For all of the reasons above, as well as like who knows what kind of might show up and harass your car while you're out. We've got this vacuum tool, which is a nice handy way to pick up everything that you drop when you're harvesting stuff. And it looks like we managed to suck some light bulbs clean out of there.
Well, I went to scrap the sodium vapor light, and I got a little prompt that said a recommended hand tool would have been my hand vac. So, am I correct in assuming that if I use the hand vac on these lights, it'll just suck the bulbs right out without damaging them?
Yep. So you get the whole bulb. If you just take your scrapper right to it, then you'll get some of the components of that bulb. But if you use the vacuum first, then you get like basically a little bit more resources overall. So you know, in Pacific Drive, there's a variety of different tools that you can craft and use around the world to gather resources. And each of them has a different sort of like best use case. A lot of them will get the job done in a variety of scenarios, but you might get fewer resources back, or you might use up more of the tool in the process, et cetera, et cetera. So you wanna be a little bit mindful of kind of what you're using where, if you really want to maximize the loot that you're getting. But the game's, you know, reasonably permissive in terms of like, well, look, if you don't have an impact hammer, in a pinch you can use your scrapper and you might get what you need still. You know, one of our kind of pillars on the design side has been like sort of presenting the players with problems, and then allowing them and giving them tools to creatively problem solve. Like a good example of this was months ago. We were playing through the story, and because we were mostly reviewing like our mission content, we were trying to go pretty swiftly through it, and I got a quirk, which I'll come back to what those are. I got a quirk that made the car kind of pull to the right, and I also happened to have a flat tire on the right at the same time, which basically made it nigh impossible to drive, especially when I was just trying to get through to my objective. And Alex, our creative director, had the brilliant idea of taking that flat tire that was on the right side along with the pull to the right and swap it over to the left side to kind of counterbalance that. And it worked brilliantly. I mean, the car still didn't drive great for all of the obvious reasons, but as far as being able to drive straight, that was back on the table.
Listen, if it's silly and it works, it's not silly.
Yeah.
So I was walking along here. I saw some stuff in the dark, which is kind of funny because I got my flares. I found this pneumatic tube container, pneumatic deposit box.
Yeah.
So when you're out in maps, how often are you coming across the extra boxes and unique containers to grab stuff versus scrapping?
It really depends on what biome you're in. We've got 6 different biomes in the game total, and each one has different contents in terms of what kinds of things you'll find there. So generally, when you're driving around, there will be resources available. Like if you're kind of paying attention and keeping an eye on your surroundings, like here's a vehicle we can scrap. And you might find these pneumatic deposit boxes as well. The 2 kind of primary resource providers in the game are these abandoned vehicles, which you take your scrapper to and break them down for parts. And then there's buildings, and there's civilian buildings and ARDA buildings, which is one of the organizations that used to be operating in the area. So the buildings, they don't necessarily give you a ton of loot. There'll probably be a few containers in there, but there's often some items that you can only you can't pick up a lit flare. It doesn't too hot to go in the bag.
Well, luckily my inventory's full, so I'm not completely in the dark. I say, as yet another anomaly tries to ruin my resource gathering.
So yeah, you'll be rewarded for taking your time and really kind of exploring and finding stuff. But it's procedurally generated, so where and how dense and exactly how likely to find it is a little bit variable, and there's equipment you can get for your car to help you kind of even that out and more easily find
what is happening, what is
certain
going
resources. What indeed?
My parking brake was on. Excuse me, car. Thank you.
Why is it honking so much?
Listen.
Oh,
no.
That is why.
Oh, okay.
You're in the middle of a squall, my friend.
I am indeed. My plan was to scrap some electronics and hopefully make some headlights and then go grab that anchor. But unfortunately, this is an atmospheric event. Seth?
Yep. So this kind of blobby yellow circle on the map there is called an atmospheric shift. And these come in a variety of flavors. They're mostly not very helpful. But although
oh no, really?
That said, there are there's a wind-based one with some sort of anomalous wind that happens, and very early in the game, that's gonna be a problem for you. But as you get better tires and engines and stuff, you might be able to fight against that wind a little bit more. And there's even ways that you can kind of turn these anomalous effects to your advantage as well. Like as an example with the wind one, there's a wind generator, like a little windmill you can strap to the side of your car. And then that might mean you want to take the time to actually drive into the thing instead.
Right now I would just like to see personally, so that I can show all the lovely people at home this wonderfully beautiful game that we've built. I think so. There was a junk car over here.
Yeah, you might be able to get some flares out of that thing and then make a crude headlight from there.
It's kind of what I'm hoping. It looks like day might be about to break.
That would also solve your problem. Oh, there's a vehicle right there.
Yes. Hello, dark car. Cool. I don't have a pry bar on me.
But you do have an impact hammer. So, you know, I was mentioning earlier how, like, a lot of tools will get the job done. So, Blake's got an impact hammer here. And it's a little overkill for this kind of tier 1 lock. But turned out to be pretty worth it. We've got a free door, some scraps, some flares.
I love a free door.
I think you even
I
are
do,
missing
yeah.
a trunk.
I need a
So
trunk.
Now that problem is solved as well, which gives us a little
that.
bit more health, as well as you know, kind of keeps the threshold at which the car has to be a little bit higher in order to protect the player.
Ow! Ow! Ow!
What it won't protect you from, though, is closing the trunk on your own head.
Got a trunk, immediately hit my head on it. I can't win.
I think you might have enough flares to make that headlight as well now.
The crude headlight.
Yeah,
yes.
I think it takes 6.
Well, I think our issue right now is that we're low.
Oh,
on
you have no
power
battery.
still,
It wouldn't
too.
matter.
Yeah.
Well, it would, and we don't have enough anyway. So fair enough. Let's continue on. Try and find some electronics. And
I think right now
get another anchor while we're at it too.
Right now, I need a 9-volt battery and some electronics.
Okay. Yeah. So those are both like more man-made material. I mean, nearly everything in the game is like a man-made material, but the batteries and the electronics are something that you can really only find at the buildings.
True.
So it looks like there's a couple shacks down to kind of the southwest of where we are. Maybe we can head down that way and see if we can't get the stuff we need.
Seth, I have a confession to make. I said I was our driver today, but I do need a navigator. Left and right is good.
I
South,
can provide that
north.
service.
All
You
right.
wanna go straight.
All right.
Is the direction of the day for now.
I think. Yeah. Hey, look, we're on the road. I can see some concrete from what little light we're getting as day is breaking. All right. Ooh, wait. I think I see the silhouette.
This is definitely worth a stop. So right here we've got one of these box trucks from S&F Hauling. And what these are, you know, there's this like moving hauling company that had been operating in the zone, and their trucks are still lying around and full of stuff. So we get a little bit of a jackpot here. I don't know if I saw any electronics, unfortunately. A few batteries, though.
I got some batteries. I think I got some paint as well.
Yep. So those things, they're kind of like our cosmetics treat. So you'll always find some paints in there, and then it looks like we found an antenna as well, which once we get back to the garage, we can use a particular station to equip that and start customizing our car a little bit more.
Thank you, whoever forgot their stuff in the back of this truck. All right, more paint. A headlight. I need that.
An MRE.
Yep, I need beans.
Gotta have some canned vegetables, beans, whatever you like. Maybe anchovies.
Anchovies. You went with You went from vegetables to anchovies. Okay. Yeah. All right. Hey, no judgment.
Vegetable of the sea.
I'll put them. I'll put them on pizza. Okay. Vegetable of the sea. Yeah. Listen, I got 99 problems and it's all electricity. Cool. So I think I still need electronics.
Yeah. So let's head up a little further and try and hit these houses. See if we can't get what we need. And as you're pulling in here, you can hold D-pad up to like do a quick heal. So even though you're sitting in the driver's seat, you can take your hands off the wheel a little bit and use that healing item at risk of crashing into something, obviously.
Or being followed by. Goodness, what even are you?
That is a crackling crawler.
Thank you.
So yeah, the headset that you're wearing, which kind of is the thing that provides the HUD in the game, has this like scanning mechanism. I'm sure it's fine. Just go inside.
Okay,
nothing to see here.
Eldritch
Definitely not gonna be dangerous in any way or a problem. I'm sure it's cool.
Yep.
Floating rocks. Definitely normal for the interior of a space.
Hey.
There, TV. That should do you for your electronics. Yeah. All right.
I get such a kick out of that. Oh, am I?
Yeah, you're pretty full
wow.
up. I think it's time
stacked.
to unload.
All right.
So this is another reason you don't want to stray too far from your vehicle, because you need that inventory space.
Poor car. I keep leaving it alone. And my crackling crawler friend is just
doing laps.
determined,
Yeah.
man. Wow.
Saying hello whenever they can. So yeah, the buildings like these civilian and government buildings will tend to have some of the like kind of rarer ingredients that you might need, like fabric and batteries and electronics and stuff like that.
Well, I do want to call out that's a dresser, and I just pulled a bunch of T-shirts out of it. That's kind of awesome.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun making all the little like inventory container shapes for this thing. As you've probably noticed, we've got sort of like a inventory Tetris style inventory system, and you know we pretty early on decided that we didn't want to mess with like having complex shaped items, so everything's kind of rectangular. But we realized not too long thereafter that we could actually use the container shapes to kind of provide that interest of like how things fit in and you know have that kind of fantasy of packing your car for a road trip and fitting everything in just perfectly. So now we've got some lights.
Wow!
Amazing.
Yeah,
what a
look at
difference that
that.
makes.
Oh.
And it looks like we even have 2 headlights. So that's extra cool.
Yeah, we found an extra one in the back of the movie.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, so
going
you'll occasionally find like just kind of whole spare parts as you're going around, but a lot of the time you'll also have to like craft an emergency replacement if it gets busted up on the road. Oh, you might have lost a wheel, like entirely. I think it just fell off. There it is.
Why? What?
Let's
My
give it a
wheel is
scan.
betraying me. Oh, yeah.
So
that's
it's
a good
bald
point.
for
Let me-
one.
let me
We'll
get
slam it
over
back
here.
on there and
Yeah.
oh boy, yeah. So it's your car's a little electrified, so we don't want to touch those parts because that won't feel nice. But we'll get this wheel back on there. Give it a scan. Tells us if you back out of this, it should show you in like the pop-up. Yeah. So it looks like it's bald. It's pretty old, so it's a little susceptible. And then it's also loose, so we can use this mechanics kit we've got here to fix that up and at least keep it on the car for a little bit, though we might need to do a full kind of wholesale replacement for too long.
Well, we can worry about that back at the garage. For right now, I would just like to keep on rolling.
Yeah, so now that we've got our lights on and some battery, we got our light back and we got some battery, maybe we'll head over to that other anchor signal, which is just, I think, just up here and a little bit to the right. We'll hunt that down.
I did see it earlier. I had no headlights, so I couldn't traverse this rocky terrain to get there.
Yeah.
Oh, our boy Zap is here to let us know that.
So yeah, there's a radio in the game, and you'll hear, we have a bunch of licensed music that you can kind of tune into, and will come in across the radio waves, and then every so often you'll get one of these sort of stranger broadcasts coming in, and you can listen to some denizens of the zone talk about all manner of things.
I have a few favorites. But there's really there's nothing like driving, listening to some music. Oh goodness!
Oh boy, that's what you get when you take an anchor sometimes.
Yep, the zone is getting more unstable because we're removing its anchors.
But I think now we've got enough anchor energy collected in the Arc device that we should be able to open up a gateway and get on out of here. Let's take a look at that mini-map and see where our exit points are. I mean, you can get to a slightly more even ground.
Yeah,
if you want first.
It's a good idea. I just off the hill, maybe not up a cliff around a bunch of trees, or ground that's erupting and throwing me into the air.
It doesn't help that it's raining a little bit. So Pacific Drive's got a pretty full weather and time of day cycle and simulation, and the handling and the way the car behaves and feels on different surfaces will be reactive to that. So because it's raining, Blake's handling is a little bit worse. Because they're off-road, their handling is a little bit worse. Because they're on summer tires and not off-road tires, their handling is a little bit worse.
Listen,
There's
what
a
you're
theme
saying
here.
is I've made decisions.
Yeah. And we're gonna unmake those decisions over the course of a few runs, but for now we deal with them.
Oh goodness! And then I believe I just got my battery sapped.
Yep, that does seem to have happened.
Yep. Good thing I found all those electronics.
It's so good that we did that.
Because hopefully I will have enough for another battery jumper,
And
so I'm not driving in the dark again.
I think what happened there is that, so in this junction we've got a condition active, like a weather condition, sort of a zone condition, that makes electricity damage sap all of your sap battery. So
I can check that on my map, can I?
Yeah, you can. So
look
here
at
in the
that.
route map, if you ever need to like check back, remember what you're kind of dealing with, you can see that in the headset menu here.
I'm missing batteries and electronics once again.
I think given the conditions when we're dealing with here, we might be better off just kind of hoofing it. That one looks uphill, maybe not that one.
Yeah.
Maybe that southeast corner.
This is gonna be a sketchy run to our gateway, but
Yeah, so now that we've got enough energy built up, we can use that energy to open up one of these gateway things. You just saw a whole big bunch of orange bolts happen, and as we get turned around, we should start to see our objective coming in over the horizon. So that giant orange pillar is the gateway. This is our way out and back to the garage. And we're gonna have to really leg it because that same kind of like storm front, the yellow circle that we saw on the last map, swoops in real fast when you open a gateway. And not too far behind it is going to be the red circle, which is our kind of in earnest zone storm. And you are not gonna want to get caught in that because it will shred your car and melt your skin.
oh, I am irradiated. I'm upside down. Oh, thank you.
Yep. The
well
hood's
lit.
making sure it's well. It does. You don't have your headlights, so the hood's helping. The car's helping. Make sure you have some light.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. The thing is, I can't even use the excuse that I didn't see the tree. I saw the tree. I'm driving
There's a lot
through the
going
mud
on.
and the rocks. A positive benefit of the life-threatening storm that's passing towards me is that I kind of can see where I'm going.
Yeah, it gives you a little bit extra light. Maybe not
Goodness.
the most useful and healthy kind, but yeah, you can kind of see like out back behind those trees there, that big red wall of doom. That's the thing that we want to stay away from.
Yep. Trying. Whether or not that happens, we will see. I'm gonna have to.
Are you
make
trying to
some
make it over to
decisions
the
here.
road and?
Yeah, hopefully so I can get moving a little bit quicker, but
Oh, you might need to very quickly get out and heal, or this is going to end poorly.
yeah.
Yeah. So as mentioned before, this is sort of unscripted, and we might just find out what it looks like when you fail
I have a
run
single
instead.
can of beans.
That should be plenty.
Oh goodness.
Oh yeah, you're hosed.
Yeah, I forgot the parking brake. I'm on a hill. The car is rolling away from me. Oh. One can of beans in a dream. Let's go. Oh boy. Goodness. How did I get turned around?
Oh boy, yeah. I don't think this is
Thank you,
going to end
Dumb
well,
Light.
Blake.
Yeah, no.
Your hood's gone, so that you have that going
That's
for
true.
you.
I believe that I'm up against a tree as well. My vision is tunneling. Life is great.
Yeah. We might
vibes are
not make it
immaculate.
out of this one.
Listen, we did our best. we scrapped, we scrounged, we crafted. The electricity's back. That's good.
Yeah, that's just in case you missed it.
Goodness, I was pointed the right direction, but unfortunately I didn't make it out, which doesn't always happen. You don't always win.
It's academic at this point. So that trip didn't go so well, but fortunately we do still end up back at the garage. So even if you, whether success or fail, each trip brings you back to the garage. That's kind of our game loop. Is you're selecting a destination, planning a route, gearing up for it, heading out, collecting resources, collecting anchors, opening a gateway back, and hopefully making it back through that gateway.
Listen, just poor car. That's all I'm gonna say. I tried.
First order business. We'll patch ourselves up and then worry about the car. So yeah, we've got a little bit of a checklist here of various things that we'll want to take care of. First, we'll check our trunk. Oh boy.
We lost all of the goodies that we got.
Yeah.
But good news, we kept our antenna
we
topper.
got our antenna.
Yeah,
We got the flower power antenna.
Yeah.
So that's nifty. We'll build the detailing station to be able to equip that in just a minute. But yeah, so if you do perish out there in the zone, then you come back to the garage. You lose everything you kind of collected on that previous run, but at least you get like to keep some of the tools and kind of upkeep maintenance stuff that you have lying around. So you're not resetting back to square zero, but you are going to have to rebuild your car a little bit. And just sort of generally, maybe have a little bit more of a modest goal the next time that you head out.
What, better than living?
Well, look, in terms of what you're trying to live through.
Yes, yeah. That's that's a fair point. Maybe it was my fault, Seth. Maybe I was too adventurous.
Finally, they admit it. But yeah, so we're gonna charge up the car. There's a bunch of stations around the garage. Like I was saying, this really is kind of your home base. It's a safe place, so every time you're back in the garage, you get as much time as you want to, with no threat, kind of take a breath from the rather intense experience you just had, and sort of reset a little bit, and sort of collect yourself, nurse your car back to health before you head back out. In the garage, there's a bunch of stations to help you do that. There's also plenty of stations that you can build to help you get even faster with that, and start to like have different sets of parts that you're cycling between and things like that. Because we did meet a grisly end, we don't have all our materials, so we're probably not going to be able to do like a full kind of body replacement on the car.
I have repair putty. I have plenty of putty.
Fill in those gaps with the magic.
No, as long as I've got the putty, everything will. Okay, all right. We should. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We should make some changes.
We had the putty. So we'll head into the back room here. It looks like a few more putties. We may be able to heal up the parts that we've got. And we've got a bumper and a panel, so we can slap those on. And then I think we're going to have to get a little crafty for the remainder of the parts that we're missing.
So, given that I had some parts, like, as backups, right?
I think the other one's in your backpack, actually.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Hey, look at that.
Not much else, but...
I fit a whole door in my backpack?
Whole panel.
You
can fit a whole door,
Oh,
though.
that is a panel. Excuse me. Sorry, not a door.
Yeah.
Good as new.
You can try and put it on the door. It might not go so great.
Probably not. So right now I need to essentially choose between crafting some new parts, or I know it wasn't the best performance, but do you think we could try some upgrades maybe?
Yeah, let's see if we have enough stuff kind of lying around in our storage to get some new stuff. So if we go back to that first tab, actually, the matter deconstructor just to our right here. Looks like we've got everything needed except for a few gears, which we can craft at the workbench in the garage. So let's go and do that.
Yeah.
And we'll get that thing up and running, which should allow us to, recycle old parts a little bit better, and kind of, keep hold of some of our resources a little bit.
So what is the point in keeping your junk and then throwing it in? You said it's a matter deconstructor?
Yeah. So it'll like any kind of dilapidated part that you no longer need, or if a part has got like these kind of fatigue statuses, then you can stick it in there and you'll get some of the components back out of it. You can do the same thing on the road with the scrapper tool that we were showing you earlier, but this thing, for reasons that will hopefully be fairly obvious, has a little bit higher yield, has a little bit higher tech than the scrapper itself.
This is awesome. Okay, and I need to put stuff in it, right?
Yeah, like I think you've got one of those tires is pretty shredded. So that's one of those like fatigue statuses that I was talking about. So the zone, all this instability and like matter reconfiguring all the time means a lot of the car parts that you'll build don't necessarily last all that long. So you do have to eventually replace them. Like they'll still drive, like you can still drive around on that wheel, but doing so is gonna generally be a little bit of a dangerous proposition.
Yeah, and as we saw, like traction's kind of important.
Yep,
if I get stuck, I get stuck.
Speaking of traction, let's see if we can make like summer tires, because right now the only thing we have access to is the spare tire recipe. So we'll have to go to the fabrication station, and research that one as well. should be over in that wheel tab. Just yeah, there we go.
Hey.
All right. Got plenty of stable anchor energy. So we'll pick that up. Headset kind of scans this blueprint, downloads the information, and now that allows us to go and craft the summer tire itself.
That's one of my favorite things is that our blueprints are literal blueprints. You pick them up and you investigate them. Oh, awesome. All right, there's one wheel. I only need, what, 2?
Yeah, 2.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, if we've got the materials for it, we may want to replace that spare that you've got on the rear right there.
So what? I mean, what's the difference between a spare tire? I guess even like you know, some of the panels that I have, like I have a steel door, but I have a crude panel. Like, is there a big difference between the two?
The at this kind of lower tier of car parts, the main difference is just like max health. But as you get into higher level car parts, you know, there's like different resistances to different elemental damage types. There's generators for your battery. There's extra storage, extra fuel, and then, you know, later in the game, there's even like some high tech stuff that I won't spoil quite yet. But you know, there's like maneuverability stuff. Like there's a sort of piston-based jump jack that you can install in the
a piston-based jump jack. That is a series of words. That are exciting and also frightening.
I'm not saying that it will necessarily keep your car in good shape, but it will make it go up.
Okay, another question. Whenever I think, let's see if we can make it happen. I don't want to put a bunch of work into the car if there's something still broken or funky going on.
Oh yeah, there was some weird behaviors we were seeing.
So, well, hold on. Okay, I gotta make.
Sorry, where were you going with that?
So I was gonna try and make, because the hood kept popping up.
Oh, we do need a hood to be able to tell if that's happening.
You gotta have the thing in order to test the thing. So let's
make a crude panel.
Crude panel. That's my hood. Cool. Nice. Very Mad Max with the rust and the raw steel. I like it. But so condition-wise, we were out. Why did that come on? We were driving and we would back. Okay, we'd back up and the hood would pop.
Yep.
And now it closes. Okay, but and now my dome light is back on.
So what's going on here is that we've got the system called quirks in the game, where as you spend time with the car and driving it around, it will develop quirks, which are, you know, like little sort of personality traits, as it were, for your vehicle. And a lot of these are kind of mundane things that may not be that important or impactful. But, you know, some of them can even be helpful. I'll tell a couple stories about some of that in a moment. But plenty of them can situationally be pretty problematic too. So the quirk system, like they're sort of modularly assembled, they're sort of randomized, and basically, as you start to notice these odd behaviors, what you're going to want to do is like listen to your car and pay attention to how it's behaving and try and figure out kind of like what the cause and what the effect is. And then once you think you've got an idea about that, you can head over to the Tinker Station in the garage.
And that's this, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
This
I was
like engine tester thing here.
Yeah, I was trying to scan the parts to see if I could get another status effect, but obviously if it's a quirk,
this
it's
is
going to appear
a
here.
deeper problem.
Yeah.
That you can't just fix with like direct manual labor.
Right.
So we've got the screen here. It's asking us what seems to be the problem. And on the left, we've got these two columns. It's kind of like we're trying to build a sentence that describes what's going on. So on the left, we've got cause, and on the right, we've got effect. So in the cause column, yeah, I think we're going to want
hood.
Oh, wait, hold on. So we have two things going on, actually.
So they're not all connected?
No.
So a lot of the times quirks can actually stack and layer on themselves.
They
Okay,
sure can.
all right. So what am I looking for here? Whenever we back up, the hood opens.
Yeah, so I think that one's under car. I think it's like car reverses.
Okay, all right. Car. God, there's so many things. Okay. Switches on.
Moves backwards.
Moves
That's
backwards.
the one.
There we go.
And when that happens, our hood seems to open.
Opens. Okay, so I'm gonna try and fix, or well, we're not fixing.
We're diagnosing.
Diagnosing,
so,
right?
Yeah. In order to fix this thing, we first have to like use this computer to kind of identify what the problem is, and then the computer will tell us like, okay, you need X, Y, and Z thing to actually like fix that issue.
Right, that makes sense. I also say it says I have 8 guesses remaining, so if I don't get this right the first time, I can keep trying.
Yep. So every time you come back to the garage, like the kind of guest count there refreshes. So each visit, each cycle, you get like a few chances to kind of figure out what's going on.
Cool.
And when you get it right, it refunds one of your guesses. So if you're on a roll, you can kind of keep it going.
So whenever the hood opens, we have.
So let's first
interior
go
light
over
turns
to
on.
the fixes.
Oh, okay.
tab.
One thing at a time.
Yeah, one thing at a time. So we've correctly diagnosed this. Car moves backward, causes hood to open, and it's telling us we need one mechanics kit to fix that. So let's see if we can make that at the workbench.
Oh, do we? I think we already.
Do you already have one?
Yeah, I think we already have
in
one.
our inventory. That would be great. Let's see. It seems like yes, we do. Cool.
Fixed.
Let's try and figure out what this other one is. I think what was going on there is when your hood opens, the
Right.
dome light goes on, maybe?
Is it well? Luckily, because everything can just be poked and prodded and messed with, we can test that out without having to waste a guess. All right, so the hood is open. Dome light is off. Okay, and then I close the hood. Dome light is on. Dome light is on. Okay, so when the hood is closed, the dome light, the map light, turns on. So me, don't help. I want to do this. I want to do this one myself. I think I Sherlock Holmes pretty close to the sun, but I'll be all right. It's detached. Oh, that's neat. Hood is closed. Dome light switches on. It could also be like toggles, maybe.
Let's try toggles first.
Yeah? Oh! Hey, look at that.
So you're seeing there, like, if you don't get all of the details right, it'll tell you how many aspects you have correct. And there's upgrades that you can get at the fabrication station that will make this nice.
Yeah.
That will like add some extra behaviors to this screen where you can like spend some of the anchor energy that you collect to get hints, and even eventually like reveal certain aspects of what's going on. So if this is a part of the game that you're struggling with or you're not enjoying, there's ways to kind of modulate the difficulty of it within the game content, and then we also have settings in the options screen to just shut it off entirely.
That's cool. So I think this says that I needed a mechanics kit
and a light
replacement kit, but I'm not seeing the light replacement kit in.
Oh yeah, you probably don't have that unlocked yet.
Oh, so that's another thing that you can unlock from the fabrication station is your tools.
Yeah.
It's not just car parts. It's not just garage upgrades. It's everything.
So I think in order to do that, you'll first need to get the bulb from the refine tab.
Okay.
So we'll grab that.
Nice. Hey, look at that light bulb.
And then now that we know how to make light bulbs, we can go over to the lights tab, which is this one here. And it looks like the light replacement kit's right there.
Nice. Okay. And if I'm out on a run, right, and I have enough stuff to make a light replacement kit, and I have a busted headlight, chances are that's going to help me out quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't have to hunt for another headlight. I don't have to look for glass or electronics. I can just solve that problem.
I mean, you'll probably need some glass for the light replacement kit at least, but it's you don't need to necessarily craft the whole kit and caboodle all fresh.
I think I want this relightable flare too.
That's fair.
Just if my track record for this stream is any indication, I need to be able to see, make some confident guesses as to where I should go and what I should do. Cool. Okay, I still need a door.
And we still also need to make that light replacement kit that we just learned.
Oh, I need a bulb.
And actually, so this is a good moment to show this off. So the light replacement kit requires a bulb, which is a refined ingredient. And instead of having to notice that and then go and find the bulb in this menu and craft it and then come back all the way to this one, it's just right here. So we can just hold down X and we will craft the thing we need and keep holding it down and we'll craft the thing we want.
What is that? What is that called when you can just make the thing to make the thing?
I call it dependency crafting.
Nice.
But that is like an internal design term. I don't know if we have like a formal in-game version of that. But yeah, so that's like one of the quality of life things we've tried to bring in to, you know, like this. There's a lot going on in this game, and we want to try and make it as straightforward as we can. Maybe the mechanics kit we're missing.
Yeah, I could have sworn that. Oh, you know what? We had it in the trunk, but then we died out in the
mechanics
zone.
kit.
Yeah, now we need to make another one. I actually think I came back with one, and that helped with the previous quirk.
Oh yeah, that tracks.
Sweet.
So we got that one all sorted now too. So the car, as far as quirks go, is in fantastic shape now. Still missing a few
wait
parts.
a minute, hang on. I was like, the dome light is still on, and you know, as my dad would say, you got hands. You can just turn that off. You don't have to. Yeah, cool.
All right.
Awesome.
Nice and dark in that cab. Okay, so let's take stock of how much stuff we've got in the inventory here. All right, so it looks like we've got some materials, but maybe we've got some stuff lying around the garage too. So we're gonna
check this locker real quick.
Yeah.
Hey,
not,
putty.
Not much more. Some putty though.
Putty
Hey.
and beans. Let's go.
We'll use that on our missing doors and panels. And then let's hit the. There's one more machine in that back room there that we can make use of.
Okay, hold on.
We've got the Vargas Autovac right behind you in this corner here.
Ooh.
Pay no heed to the skull and crossbones on it. It's helpful. So what this thing does is it's kind of a shop vac. So it hoovers everything up that's anywhere in the map and spits it out. Including our transfer trunks, so we can
there we go.
then
I
open back our
leaving that somewhere else, but
the inventory here of the vacuum itself and grab a few things that we'd I guess left lying around, including wonderful, a panel.
Look at that.
Let's slap that on the car. It's purple too, nice. And I think I saw a scrapper in there too, so we'll grab that.
Yeah.
Equip that.
Add that back to my hotbar.
And we can use that scrapper on this abandoned vehicle that's out back here. So this vehicle will respawn every time you're back in the garage. Kind of make sure that you've got a chance to get those last 2 scrap that you're missing, or if you just need a little bit of a pick me up and to make some parts before you head back out. This car is here to help. A little bit of a drip feed of some resources. And then, as Blake is wrapping up scrapping this thing, there's one other thing right next to the car that we can use to help us kind of get back on our feet a little bit.
Sorry, I hate to be messy after I just vacuumed.
Fair, I appreciate it. It's important to be clean. So in this dark corner here, there's this little blue glow. That's the friendly dumpster.
Hey.
It's a very normal dumpster that likes to help you out. So it gave us some scrap and a headlight, which I'm guessing we're probably missing a headlight.
Are we missing a headlight, or is this just are they broken?
Yeah, busted headlights. So
repair putty, light replacement kit. All right,
they're in sorry shape.
Yeah, this one I don't think it's worth it to spend all the resources to fix all of it.
Let's scrap it for parts, and then we can pick these stuff up, or we can go use the shop vac again. It only spit a couple items out, so it's probably not worth going around the corner. But if you're breaking a bunch of stuff up down at once, you can make a big old pile and then hit that shop vac.
Nice. And then this is okay, I guess. An electrician's kit.
Yeah.
And repair putty.
Do we have enough for that? We do not have it unlocked yet.
Well, we have the repair putty.
Yep, which will get it back to health.
Yeah, and then in order to fix it completely, right, I do have to have that electrician's kit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder if we can just make a fresh one, though.
Oh, like a fresh headlight?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's
Do we
preferable.
have that unlocked? I forget.
I think we have the crude headlight.
We have the crude.
Oh, we don't have any...
We don't have enough flares.
No, we don't
Okay,
have enough
well,
flares.
maybe we're just going to deal with that. Do we have the electrician's... Oh, we need to unlock it, right?
Right. I think we can real quick.
We have
got
enough
juice.
anchor energy, yeah. So that'll be on the survival tools tab. Yep, right here. And it's just up top.
Man. Deep.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Lots
stuff to
of,
unlock in this here video game.
Lots of stuff to find, lots of stuff to use. I like it.
Cool. We can make one of those. We're shy on electronics, but enough for now.
I love that it's not like a tool that you buy off the shelf. It's very clearly like this is something that somebody somewhere had to figure out how to make on their own. You know?
Yes.
Oh, we are missing a
So
panel.
we're still missing
And
a
a
panel,
door.
a door,
And
and
I
then
think a bumper.
Bumper, yeah.
Go ahead and make those real quick. Crude door. All right. Duct tape special. Let's go.
Yeah, Jacob, one of our artists who made all the like car art and tools, did a really awesome job with like making everything feel really kind of physical and like sort of slapdash in a way that I think fits really nicely with, you know, the very embodied physical nature of the whole game, with like having to turn the ignition and, you know, use the parking brake and everything like that. Just makes it nice and grounded, and looks pretty neat too.
I mean, it looks pretty neat, but it could look better, right?
It could.
And I want to know how we're gonna use this.
Oh yeah, let's
this
go
little
and hit up the fabrication station one more again, and we'll unlock the detailing station. Hopefully we have enough. Oh no, we do not. Okay, well, we need 3 more electronics. Maybe that will be a priority for this next run.
Maybe, but I think
You might actually.
is there anything on this car that I could use?
Not for that, but you might be able to break down that the light replacement kit that you got. I think. Oh wait, hold on. Right,
What?
Right there.
I'm all huh? What am I looking at?
There's a computer and a radio.
Oh, there's some junk on the shelf. That's useful.
You've heard of Elf on the Shelf. So looks like we got a couple electronics, which I think we needed 5.
Maybe, but you also said I could break this down.
Yeah,
too.
let's throw this in here. See if we can get an electronic back. None of those things are an electronic.
That's okay.
Do we have another way to get? Let's take a look.
Detailing station. Wait, there it is.
Yeah, we're still one shy.
Oh man, goodness. What can I take apart? What do I have? I'm sure that I have something.
I mean, you could take apart your headlight that we just repaired.
Oh, that's true. I could.
That seems worthwhile. Let's do that.
Yeah, I'll keep the nice one.
That one won't give you any electronics,
Oh
unfortunately.
goodness. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
So, sorry,
Have
Blake.
you seen that? They took my eyes.
So this one should authentically give us some electronics back. Hey, all right.
Who cares if you can see if you look cool?
Yeah,
you
look.
know what I mean?
That's what we're all about.
Yeah.
Here with Pacific Drive is styling. So we'll get this detailing station built out. And
This
that
is,
will allow us to equip some of the cosmetics that we've found.
This is kind of like when you buy new wheels instead of fixing your oil leak. I don't know. I'm a pretty big car guy, and most of us, we have like a shiny new thing that we get instead of doing the routine maintenance. No, I love it.
Upkeep? Who?
Yeah.
I don't know her.
Oh, okay. So cool. We got a little Radius Motors vending machine. Let me make sure I got everything. I have. Yeah. So I got my antenna topper.
So you'll open up this inventory and dump that antenna in there.
Okay. All right.
You're seeing a list here of all the stuff that kind of comes
In they go.
with the station.
Boom. Oh, I have a bobblehead.
Oh yeah, I
And a
think
little UFO.
that's like our deluxe edition bobblehead. And we've got a couple antennas as well. I don't know if you're feeling more flower power or more star.
I wanted to go with the flower power, and then I think I like this little alien guy. I'm gonna include him too. So now that we've added those cosmetics,
You can see on the antenna there. Oh, we've got a nice little spaceship on the hood ornament.
Yep, and then I've got my
Daisy,
little daisy.
on our antenna, and then I think you put a like hanging mirror ornament in there too.
The UFO. It's stealing the car.
Nice.
Look, check it out, little guy. Awesome, Seth. I think I don't want to speak too soon, but
quick coat of paint and then off we go.
Oh yeah. All right, what do we think? White, brown,
I'm kind of feeling that red.
Yeah, red. red makes everything go faster.
That's true. It's scientifically proven.
That's why Ferraris are red.
So yeah, you can paint each of the parts individually. You can paint the chassis as well. And in general, like this is kind of a big pillar for us of kind of your car your way. So whether that's painting it all red or choosing which tires to be in which configuration, or as you get into some of the higher tech stuff, like do you put that nitro boost on the front bumper or the rear? And that's not just to be like cute, though I certainly think it is. There are genuine reasons that you might like want a nitro boost on your front bumper to make a swift exit out of there sometimes.
Well, I mean, everybody's going to try and play the game a different way, right? So it makes sense that you'd be able to put parts in different places. Yeah. You'd be able to use different cosmetics. There are going to be people that favor certain panel upgrades and tire upgrades over other ones. I like sending the car sideways with the handbrake. So maybe I don't want tires with great traction.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, I think, all my panels
and
are
there's
okay.
like upgrade racks as well. Like you can get window racks on the sides and on the roof as well. So in addition, and in the back seats too, in addition to like the sort of body and structural stuff and the wheels, you get kind of like more utility stuff as well. All right. That's enough rambling about the car and all the upgrades. We should probably fuel up.
Yeah, gas. It's most important thing for a car.
I'm assuming by it being completely empty that we left it running.
Listen, it's not about who left the car running. It's about who remembered to put gas in it.
Yeah.
It's about who remembered to put gas in it.
So you've got this gas pump in the garage. You can always leave with a full tank, so you're never kind of limping out as you head out for each trip. Just for safety, you may as well chuck that thing on the ground and fill it up too.
This is one of my favorite things, honestly. When we were watching the previews and people were picking up the gas, the fuel can.
Yeah.
No one was using the gas pump to refill the fuel can when they were back at the garage. And I feel like I have a life hack. It's called fill your fuel can.
Make sure that spare jerry can's full.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. What's next?
Okay, now we're all pretty much ready to go. Next up, we're going to go to this map against the wall and hit up the route planner. So we saw kind of a version of this as we were transitioning levels and checking our zone conditions earlier, but this is kind of where it all starts. So each time once you've kind of like gotten your car into good enough shape, you take a look at the screen, you can kind of wave the cursor around and like see the sort of different densities of different aspects that you're going to encounter, if there's any junction conditions around, and critically, these like big spooky orange splotches are actually like sort of satellite imagery, so to speak, of the instability in the area. So that'll show you where you extra don't want to go.
Yeah. Seth, I know that you're giving me crucial life-saving information, and I should be paying more attention to that, but I feel like this route we were just on, is that a little tombstone?
It's a little tombstone.
Yeah.
So yeah, in addition to like all these kind of rubber banding, like help you get back on your feet mechanics in the garage, you can also head back to where you went and try and recover some of the materials from your car's corpse, as it were.
Oh, so if I found like a really cool cosmetic out there, like a steering wheel I absolutely had to have, I died, and then I came back to the garage, there's still a chance that it's out there for me, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And
cool.
and the cosmetics stick with your car no matter what. You don't lose those.
Yeah.
But like,
I mean when you're like looting them, like when you're picking them up the first time.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we have it so that cosmetics you find stick with you, like they're kind of treated as tools in that respect.
Oh, good. Cool.
So if you get excited about a steering wheel, you've got that thing, it's locked in.
Why'd you say that a little judgy? If you get excited, I like car stuff. I want a cool steering wheel.
Yeah, but so the cosmetics, like the collectibles, are kind of included in that, like stuff you get to hang on to.
All right, that's good.
So you're never like, we're never tearing away a prize steering wheel from you.
Oh, that's good. That's good, because I'm gonna find one that I absolutely love, and I'm gonna want to use it like the whole time.
When we tried this yesterday, in like our first go around recording this, I think we found a steering wheel.
Oh yeah,
and it was the like junker one that's just like a pair of pliers on the steering column.
There's a very old 90s sitcom, I say, aging half of everybody watching this, and there was a character named Kramer. If you're familiar with how he drove his car around, you might see a little wrench or so.
But yeah, so back to the route planner. So one last thing before I kind of talk about what we're gonna do next. So on that junction, the little sort of like highway badge one.
Oh yeah,
with
this guy.
with the tombstone on it. If we had successfully returned through the gateway, that would have discovered this node, and it would have like revealed. You can kind of see like that brown arrow showing up.
Right.
So that's showing you if you like go to this location and return successfully, the car's kind of like got a black box in it that's recording all your drive data.
Yeah.
And it gets uploaded to this like scanning apparatus on the roof of the garage, and that process like reveals kind of new junctions on the world map. So it's sort of like a
Right.
territory control thing. So you're going on these expeditions to try and gather resources, collect anchor energy, and discover new areas so that you can kind of like open up access to new spots within the map. And
That's pretty cool.
now that I think about it, I didn't when we first kind of planned where we were going to go. That junction that we just perished in is in the blistering woods biome, which is like really heavy electricity.
So what you're saying is you set me up for failure.
No.
It was on purpose.
Not no.
It was on purpose. Are you mad at me? Like, do we need to? The significance though of it being a highway. Sorry, did you?
Yeah,
you
sorry.
already mentioned that, right?
Got keep distracted. There's so much in this game to talk about. I keep distracting myself. So the highway thing, like if we do discover that junction, there'll be like a new road that appears going from the garage, our kind of home base, to that highway junction. And then in the future we can kind of just like skip right to it. If you travel to a highway exit along a highway road, you'll play like kind of a shorter, smaller map that's a little more chill generally.
That's
to
good.
Kind of like cruise down the road, have a moment of zen.
Yeah.
As the radio, is pouring out the windows, all that kind of thing. And as just when we're still kind of early game and we only have so much of the map uncovered, it's not saving you in all that much time. But as you get into the mid zone and the deep zone, it can save really quite a bit of time.
I mean, that's good. And it's also the lighter maps that you were talking about. Like, if there's a destination further in that I know that I really want to get to, it's good for me planning-wise because I know I don't have to keep my car.
Yep.
Like,
you're not going to get battered along the way
right.
in quite the same way. And especially, once you do get to those later biomes that have, like, new unique resources, like, that might be pretty important because you want to really save your car's durability for where you're going to need to be harvesting this stuff. So we're going to plan a destination to Sierram, which is where our next kind of like story mission is. Unfortunately, that's only going to bring us through damp forest locations. So that should be a little bit more docile.
Oh, yeah. No, I can't wait to put my foot down and not get hit by electricity every 5 seconds. I think that's going to be super fun.
Should treat you all right.
Yeah. I went ahead and selected this because we've got this marker on it. Is that particularly important?
So that little like sort of pin drop icon is like our hey, here's where a story mission is.
Oh,
so if you
okay,
see
cool.
that, that's kind of where to go to progress from here. The thing that we're going to be doing in Sierram is the folks on the radio have a suspicion that the car is what's called a remnant, and there's a giant anomaly called Colossal Cappy there that we're going to go drive near and try and use the energy from that to kind of do an experiment and see if like our car reacts in any sort of way to that.
I saw this earlier. I've got a little red wheel.
That does seem possibly important.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have any putty left. Does it have a status as well? Oh yeah, just replace it.
It's a spare tire. Might as well put a fancy, cool summer tire on there.
Perfect.
Sorry, car.
And it was pretty quick on screen there, but when we scan something, it shows like sort of the comparison parts on the left side there, and you can actually see that some of these wheels have a little bit of physical impact resistance, and that's because they happen to be installed near like body panels and doors that themselves have physical resistance. So there's like this sort of adjacency resistance thing going on where that's where the sort of like where you installing your parts and panels and doors kind of comes in, of like wanting to spread out the resistance you've got so that you can kind of protect more of the car in a little bit better way.
Well, that's awesome.
And I think the last thing that I kind of want to cover before we hit the road here is if we go back to the planning map, the route map.
This one?
Yeah. against the wall here. If we hover on Serum, where we're headed, you'll see in the bottom right there that some of those things on that list are kind of filled in, and it says like abductor, tourist, etc. And what's going on there is that's pulling from the logbook data in your kind of headset menu. So when you find these anomalies out in the zone or resource providers or anything like that, you can scan them and get like a little bit of a lore drop. And it also, like when you get back to the garage, it uploads that data to the scanner, so it can kind of recognize these things as you're planning your route, and it detects these things on these junctions. So you get a little bit of advance warning if there's something that you've encountered and scanned before, when you're going to actually encounter it again. Also in this logbook, sorry.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, as you were describing that, I was gonna head in here and try to look for the tourist description, because they're one of my favorite anomalies.
Yeah, the tourists are fun.
Yeah, I can't wait to show them off. There's this guy.
That's your new friend.
Yeah, the little
screenshot.
little screenshot of me holding my flare, backing away.
Yep.
Please.
Yeah. So like certain things will like take a snapshot of it, so you have a visual reminder of what it is. And then there's like these little lore blurbs that give you some background on the anomalies and the world and everything like that.
And it's not just anomalies in car parts either, right? It's everything.
Yeah. So this let's wind back to the first tab, and we'll just kind of walk through these quickly. So just want to kind of show you this menu, give you a sense of kind of how big this game is and how much stuff there's in it. So this first tab is like our tutorials page. These are all kind of the how to play and what are the mechanics. Don't need to linger too long on this.
I love that the second one is critical harm in the zone.
Yeah, look, it's an important aspect to be aware of.
Yeah, maybe I would have lived if I paid attention to what the game was trying to tell me.
Resources, this is all like the different things that you can sort of search and loot and use tools on to harvest materials from. We've got about 46 of them in the game. And we've encountered, it looks like, 10 or so. So still, or 8, I can count and read.
Yeah.
So still plenty to discover. And, like I said, there's different biomes. So as we get to new biomes, we'll encounter some new resources there.
That's cool. It also, I called this out earlier when I was scrapping those sodium vapor lights, but it also shows you what tool you should really be using.
Yep.
Like,
so there's some hints there about kind of, if you want to be collecting things as optimally as possible, what you might want to use.
Oh man, I am not an optimal efficient collector, but I have a lot of friends who will play games like this, and they want to know
all the
best way
strats.
to do everything. Yeah.
So then this tab is the anomalies. This is all like the wacky, dangerous stuff that you're going to find out there.
Yeah.
We've got just shy of 60 of those in the game. The conditions are all the like sort of modifiers that apply to the levels that you play.
Right.
So we had on that last run, we had angry abductors, which are like those floating nasty things that grab you and pull you around. And they get a little nastier when this thing is applied. And we had disruptive discharge at the top there, which was the thing that was really kind of screwing Blake over.
Yeah, well, I mean, the crackling crawlers would not leave me alone. I couldn't get my battery charged fast enough. And then on top of all that, headlights were broken. Love it. Gotta be great.
Found items, this is all like your crafting materials. We got about 50 of those, and then some kind of miscellaneous objects as well. Just because we didn't have a better category to put them in.
No, that's honestly choices. Detail-wise, I like the call out on the tools to use, but is there... Yeah, it looks like there's a piece on the side there on the right that shows kind of their likelihood to show up in other places.
A lot of the materials that we know about so far and like have unlocked in this save game are things that are pretty ubiquitous and kind of you'll find everywhere.
Okay, cool.
But when you get into the more kind of like specific resources, it'll tell you kind of what biome you need to go and find those in. So like lead platelet there only had blistering woods listed, for example. Doors you can find anywhere.
Yeah, that's good.
As far as crafting, so this is stuff that you can craft for your car and for yourself, like tools and first aid kits and everything like that. Lots of different categories here, about 136 things in total. That a handful of those you start with unlocked when you start the game, but you'll have to learn all those recipes, and then go ahead and craft them as well. And just there, Blake peeked at it for a moment, there's also a player equipment station
right,
that you can
yeah.
build, so you can like upgrade your kind of resistance to certain damage types and get a new backpack that's larger and stuff like that.
Oh, so that's everything that's undiscovered here is all of the stuff that as the like driver you can unlock and put on. That's cool.
Next up, we got statuses. So this is all the bad stuff that can happen to your car parts and tools. We've seen a few of these in action already. A bunch of these are things that you can kind of fix and cure yourself using various like fix kits. But some of them, like bald, for example, is more of like a fatigue status where it's like once your tire's bald, that's just kind of the way it's going to be.
Yeah. I mean, my dad's pretty tired and bald, so I get it. I understand. Yeah, logic is there.
God. Sorry, I actually have to leave.
Yeah, no, I was questioning that one a little bit too. But listen, fatigue, it's a real thing.
Yeah, so
for
once
parts.
once these kind of statuses hit, then you're probably better off just scrapping that thing for parts and making a new one. 33 statuses may seem like a lot, and there is certainly plenty to contend with, but a bunch of these things are kind of like different flavors of the same thing, like especially for that fatigue behavior that I was mentioning. Like there's a bald for tires and fragile for doors and panels, for example.
Well, I mean,
so there's some duplication here, but still plenty of difficulties to contend with.
I mean, I mentioned being like a car person earlier. There's a big difference between a bald tire and a flat tire.
Yeah.
There's a big difference between a loose wheel and a flat tire. Like the fact that there's a distinction in sort of the problems that we're going to have with our parts, very cool.
And you know, that might also influence like how urgently you want to take care of it.
Oh, exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
A flat tire, you can drive around on pretty okay in the game. It's going to be difficult, but you can get where you're going.
Right.
A loose tire, as we experienced,
can
become a real big problem real fast.
Not great, but it's also that same sort of mentality, right? Like if I'm driving my car in real life, and I'm like, oh, that's a little bald. I should take care of that at some point.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, you sort of prioritize your fixes.
What's another day?
Yeah, one more.
Here we've got the auto shop tab, which is all the like stations that you can install kind of around your garage. As I was mentioning, like a bunch of this stuff is kind of to help you kind of repair and prepare each time you're back at the garage a little bit faster and more effectively. So that's what a lot of this stuff is. We've got about 40 on that.
Do be careful not to get your hand caught in the
It's a
suspension
good recommendation.
matrix. Yeah, no, don't put your finger in that.
It's full of lasers and cutting.
Yeah.
And then plenty of garage storage as well. Like you start with kind of those two lockers that you've seen us using, but you can build new expanded lockers to get additional storage space, and even eventually late game you can build like an infinite space kind of list-based locker. So, you know, if you're worried about having space for your 5,000 scrap, worry not.
Yeah.
And then there's also like car part specific storage. So if you get into a world where you've got like multiple sets and you want to swap between them, there's a kind of more like quick in and out inventory system that we've got available there. Detailing is all the different paint colors and cosmetic collectibles that you can find. We've just got a few of those so far.
Antennas, shifter. Well, hold on. Sorry. All of our cosmetics, we've got wheels, antennas, shifters,
steering wheels.
Yeah, sorry.
So steering wheels, we've got antennas, we've got shifters, we've got mirror ornaments, we've got hood ornaments, we've got bobbleheads, and we've got 2 sticker slots.
And then there's also decal kits, which are for the whole car. So if you want to put some flames on something,
kind of layers with the paint stuff.
Yeah.
So like we've got our red, and I don't know if we have any decal kits, but if we did, we could like say, okay, we want a red car with flames on it, or with white racing stripes, or whatever it might be.
I think I did have a decal kit.
I think those are just our deluxe ones.
Oh yeah. We'll save those for
ones.
people who pick those up. What else did we have in the logbook? I feel like
last couple tabs here, we've got the records tab. This is all the sort of like found lore, like so this is text notes and stuff like that, like sort of people's diaries. And then there's also some like audio log type things that you can find and collect and listen back to. And then transmissions is a way to kind of listen back to any of the sort of like mission VO that you heard and maybe missed, because
your narrative
I don't know, maybe a
content.
crackling crawler was harassing you.
Hey, look, Oppie, very important. She's got stuff to tell me. I should pay better attention, and this is where I go when I don't pay attention.
Yep. So if you missed anything or just like need a refresher, you can always come back come back here and check them out. And then there's one last tab, which is our run report. Trip 1. I think these are numbered backwards right now, but
That's okay.
yeah, as we can see, we took about 42 minutes to die.
Listen, that's not bad.
It's not.
Surviving in the zone
Yeah.
for 42 minutes.
Hey, I've seen worse.
I challenge everybody to try and beat that when the game comes out.
But you can kind of see a breakdown of like what kinds of damage types you're dealing with. So obviously, especially going to that Blistering Woods map, lots of electricity damage in that sort of bar graph here. You can see various other stats about kind of your resource usage and replenishment, which might help you kind of prioritize like, oh, okay, like I really need some electric resist gear because that's a problem.
Well, that's what I was looking at is like if you end a run and you kind of get stuck or you're confused and you don't know why, this is kind of great because I definitely wasn't paying attention when I saw that we had the one map condition with the batteries and the electricity. And if I go here, I can clearly see that a majority, 61% of the damage to the car was electrical, and the 49% of the damage to myself was electrical.
And you can also see you got 94 battery drained.
Yeah.
Which is
wow,
about 4 to 5x the amount of fuel you drained.
Yeah. This is essentially a report card of all my failures. I appreciate it. It's good. But no, I mean, like I find myself a lot of the time keeping track of all of these details. But like we've mentioned a couple of times, this is pretty deep. There's a lot going on, and if you want to, you can find out what happened using this information.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I think that is enough logbooking. Let's get on the road. Let's go to Serum.
I really got to replace that headlight. I know the car's red and it's super awesome, but oh man,
it was for the Daisy. We did it for the Daisy.
Yeah, but it's full Popeye status at this point. I've only got the one. Only got the one headlight. Oh goodness.
So as we kind of drive up through this checkpoint here, we'll get that same kind of travel map screen. And because we're just trying to kind of do the mission here, we're gonna probably pick whichever one of these looks a little bit less spicy. In the interest of safety.
I like perpetual stability, and they've both got it.
Cool.
Stable anchors are cool. Rent cars are cool. I was joking around earlier about introducing people to the tourists. I think I want to go ahead and do that. Yeah.
But yeah, you could see there, like there was the 2 branching paths, and as you uncover more and more of the map, you'll have more and more kind of pathways that lead to your final destination available to you, and you can kind of pick those branching paths to sort of choose your route through the zone.
Well, it's also, you have the ability to choose. You can look at stuff you need, or you can just be curious. A lot of the time when I play games, I want to look at everything. I want to touch everything.
Here's something for you to look at.
Yeah.
And touch.
They're just all in a big line like that. That's nice. Guys, I know I said I wanted to say hello, but this is... Well, nope, I'm leaving. I'm leaving.
Saying hello.
I gotta go.
Oh boy.
Whoa! I dodged that, I think. Nope, I did not. Okay. So this is one of.
This is a bunny.
Yes, but specifically, I believe this is the broken bunny.
Yes. This is the broken bunny. So, bunnies are these little weird sort of like hopping metal tumbleweed things, and they'll leap and attach themselves to your car. And the broken bunny is sort of like an electrical malfunction one, so it'll make your systems go a little haywire. There's other types that'll do damage, and there's even some that might be helpful that you'll find every now and then.
A helpful anomaly?
Oh yeah,
something that would actually benefit.
Actually, like obviously most of our anomalies are not helpful. But the sort of design philosophy we had in making all these things was that, like...
Sad little guy.
Things should be sort of, like, cleanly encapsulated and multiplicative with their surroundings. So we've taken a lot of principles from like immersive sims to try and make things that have simple behaviors that can combine in really interesting and exciting ways. And that means that, again, like most of these are hazards, they're dangerous, they're obstacles to be avoided, but situationally, like there might be some scenarios where you can actually use them to your advantage. So like there's time when we were like playing the demo that we brought to PAX West.
Yeah, that was fun.
Where like I'd spent 15 minutes or so collecting anchors, and I was like, all right, I'm in good shape, but I'm pretty far from the gateway that I need to open. So I'm gonna open up the gateway and start hauling ass. And I ran into an abductor, which are those like flying grabby things that drag you around.
Right.
And I saw it and I was like, what's the worst that could happen? What if I just drive into that thing and let it grab hold of my car and drag me into come what may? And I did, and it brought me exactly down the straightaway that I wanted. No harm, no foul. So again, like it's a thing where a lot of the time it is kind of risky, but you can kind of opportunistically use some of these things to your advantage.
I'm still on the hunt for electronics, 9-volt batteries,
there you go.
Wires,
Trying to get that headlight.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad. I love my car. I want my car to be happy and whole and healthy. I don't.
Fair, honorable.
I don't want to crash it into too many trees. I
While
will.
we're at this gas station, you may want to fill up your gas too.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Gas stations are generally like pretty awesome locations you'll want to stop by because you get a fill up, and they tend to have some good loot. And Blake also found this like sort of cosmetic vending machine in there too, and hit that up.
Yeah, that was neat. I was essentially just poking around looking for stuff, and then I broke a handle off of the machine, and it gave me a
single use.
Yeah. Well,
So, yeah,
I
nice,
didn't
top it up. That's good.
I didn't need too much gas, but the pump doesn't have too much gas left.
Just as well then.
Yeah. This is one of those smaller maps you were talking about, right?
Yep. Yeah. So the maps come in kind of different sizes, a few different sizes, and different sort of like relative densities of like how many buildings are there. I think this is one of our like residential maps that has a few more buildings. It's a little more built up, so you'll tend to, if you're looking for electronics and batteries and some of those like building-based resources, like you'll probably want to prioritize coming to these kinds of locations where possible.
Let me see how far off I am. I think this is a science trailer.
Yes, this is one of ARDA's kind of research outposts. Often they have kind of plasma generators, but it looks like this one has been smashed up, so we will not be getting any plasma from it, but we can come inside and fortunately have some flares so we can get some light.
Oh no, I didn't.
I think you researched it but haven't crafted one yet. You might have enough.
Seth and I had the same brain moment where we were.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
We got
awesome.
Our relightable flare, with the amazing technology of
Batteries.
some copper wire,
Lights.
and a battery.
Yeah.
We can respark this thing.
I don't have to sit here. Nice. Yeah, these interiors are very fun, and they're not just like open door find thing. You actually do need to look at what you're searching.
For sure.
You got to find the right little, because I don't think we've come across one of these cabinets yet, or one of these little toolboxes.
Yeah, this
super easy to miss.
You definitely have to really kind of pay attention to what's on offer. And back here in this back corner is a very crucial resource provider. These hazmat cabinets are the only places that you can kind of reliably find two or three really key resources. Chemicals, which are like the key ingredient for the putty that we've been using to keep our car repaired. The gas cylinders, which we need for our impact hammer, which is the thing that we use to smash up those plasma generators, as well as use to break open some heavier duty locks that we might find. And then pressurized cartridges, which we use for all of our kind of like light bulbs and stuff like that, which is relevant to our current interests.
Oh no, I'm missing a road
Whole
flare.
bunch of flares.
How many? I only have one.
So
okay.
flares you'll tend to find in vehicle trunks, like abandoned vehicles. So maybe that'll be the thing we kind of keep an eye out for as we continue on towards our exit and into CRM.
It was a worthwhile little stop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good stuff.
Now that it's daytime, I do want to call out, like, this is really pretty. Like,
Yeah,
the
Pacific
world
Drive
itself.
is a game that like can really flex into like a very chill kind of, you know, bright sunny day, drive through the Pacific Northwest with a little some wacky menacing stuff around, but it can really be pretty like docile and sort of low key, and you're just kind of like going through these buildings and scavenging stuff and seeing what's been left behind. But then it can like really ramp up, as we saw.
Right, yeah.
And that's one of the things that I personally love best about it, is just the way that it really kind of occupies both spaces pretty comfortably, honestly. And obviously, you know, like I mentioned before, that there's like settings in the options menu for like the quirk behaviors, if that's something that isn't agreeing with you. We've got loads and loads of other settings too, from like motion sensitivity stuff to color, like vision stuff, to plenty of gameplay sort of difficulty options too. Like if you're loving the game but you just like are really not into the sort of punishing death mechanics, like you can just shut off player death.
Yeah.
For example. So, you know, we've tuned the game in the way that we think is kind of like the optimal experience, but we are much happier to have you cruise around the zone in whatever way is comfortable for you than to sort of be forced into our approach.
I think it's really important to kind of reward people for exploring and the variety of environments that they're going to find, combined with those accessibility features. Because like there are going to be days where I just want to drive around.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to pick one or the other.
Yeah, you can
have
toggle them on
both.
and off
Yeah.
too, for sure.
Never wanted to think about this place
Oh,
ever
Oppie.
again. At your
So this
town,
was.
Colossal Cappy is
I'll let
smack
Oppie finish
dab
first.
in the middle of where Sierra used to be. You can't miss it.
So yeah, we're looking out for Colossal Cappy, and this is another junction that's got perpetual stability. So we got pretty lucky there with two back to back. What perpetual stability means, basically, like that yellow storm, the kind of like timer on the level, doesn't exist. So you can really kind of take your time and settle in and pick across the whole landscape and fill up your inventory as much as possible.
That's good. I mean, everybody watching knows I need all the extra parts I can get. But generally, like, how often would you say that you are looking out for those modifiers? Like, what is the thing that we are trying to pay the most attention to while planning a route? Or is it just kind of a mix of everything?
The modifiers is a big one. The biome is the other kind of major determining factor of like what the experience is going to be, because the biomes have a pretty clear, like a pretty consistent association.
Whoa!
Oh, hello,
Hey,
abductors.
sorry. No. Hey.
Uh-oh.
Hey,
Uh-oh. Oh,
I
no.
do not want to.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
All right. Hey, thanks, man. That was awesome of you.
He's a helper.
Yeah, I was just trying to park my car, and I suck at parallel parking, and you did it for me. It's great.
Look, that abductor just hates tourists, okay?
God, he really weeded that garden. He got rid of all these guys. Awesome. I had stopped. I was like, I'm going to check out these trunks. I'm going to steer clear of the tourists, and then just, you know. Gotta love it, man.
Excellent. Very, very excellent.
Goodness.
What was I talking about? I don't even remember. Oh,
I love
yeah,
that,
like
yeah.
things to pay attention to as you're planning your route. So the junction conditions is a really big one, because as we saw, like that can just mean you're not going to have battery on this level if you get hit by any electricity. Though that does get modulated by, like, if you have a car that's covered in electric resist parts, then that will be less the case. So you have like countermeasures on a lot of this stuff. And then the other big thing is biomes, because there's like a pretty strong association between like the biome and what resources you'll find there, as well as what anomalies you'll find there. So as you become more and more familiar with the game and kind of what exists where in the zone, that'll give you a pretty good picture of like what you're going to be up against.
That's good. I mean, it's good to react to information when you get it, especially since the like deadliness of the zone essentially relies on your ability to prepare and think ahead, and it's not something that you want to take lightly.
For sure. The last factor, which is certainly important, but it's I would say least important, is those like density meters that we were seeing earlier. And those are like, you know, it'll tell you how many buildings there are, and how many like resource sites there are, and how many abandoned vehicles there are. And as you become familiar with like what each of those categories of things provide in terms of different materials, you'll probably want to be paying more and more attention to those, so that you can know things like, you know, for example, oh, I really need electronics to make that headlight that I sacrificed to the detailing station lords. In order to do that, I need to find a level that's got lots of buildings, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. I love that you laugh at me every time I try to vacuum a tool. Like, I'll drop a tool to grab some materials, and then
I just
whip
love the way it
vacuum
plinks
out.
off the front. It's so delightful.
Oh, God, it's just every time it happens, I'm like, oh, and then you laugh at me. It's like, all right, man. I'll suck it up at some point. It'll happen, and then I'll be like, haha. I knew it was gonna work that way, and then you're gonna tell me, no, that's not supposed to do that. Cool. So sorry, we were getting pretty deep on preparation and checking to make sure that we were like at 100% with all the information we had.
And then an abductor grabbed our car and got us a little distracted. So I think I don't know if we got like a good look at Cappy itself. So as we round this bend, we'll try and spot it in the distance. Because that's that giant anomaly that I'd mentioned that Oppie's having us go investigate, as it were.
And Francis and Tobias, they have their opinions as well.
Yeah. So there you see it in the distance there, the big sort of like blue wisps with floating something. I'm sure it's fine. Nothing to be worried about.
Oh, we'll get over there in a second. Hey, welcome back. Please don't grab my car again.
I mean, you're gonna go off that thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Whee! There's more than one way to jump a fence. Hey, look at that.
Oh, hello.
Wow, that was handy.
So the zone has gifted us an anchor. So, you know, I was mentioning before, like, the anomalies are generally hazardous, but not universally. And this is a good example of, like, when the zone does give back. So occasionally you'll see those kind of, like, blue puffs of smoke or whatever. And usually that'll come with something nice in there for you to stop and get. We got pretty lucky with this one happening just kind of randomly as we're driving around, but usually those happen when the instability is starting to pick up and that storm is closing. So it's kind of a risk-reward proposition of whether you feel like you have the time to stop and get out and get the thing.
So checking my objectives, it looks like Oppie has a theory, and we've got to get the car close to an anomaly, or the anomaly.
Yeah,
so I assume that's Cappy.
That's Colossal Cappy, the big thing that's floating in the sky, which is, I think, right behind us at this point.
Yeah, sorry. I took a look at it, but we can get a better one. The visual impact of this is always awesome.
It's pretty great.
Yeah.
Why don't we just full send into this pit and see if we can get close enough that way?
Yeah. All right. Try it out. Maybe there's some more flares down there. I can get another headlight.
You wouldn't want to get close to that anomaly without a headlight.
Yeah.
Actually, there might be a vehicle right at that gas station.
I don't think that it
has no trunk.
Yeah.
You will not be getting flares from that vehicle.
Yeah, I've been getting better at identifying the different junk cars and knowing which ones will have the stuff that I want. All right, straight off and in we go.
What's a little hill?
Yeah.
What's a little tree?
Radiation.
What's a little radiation?
I'm seeing radiation a lot.
Yeah, so gosh, we've gotten so far into this thing, we haven't talked about the sort of HUD at all. Give Oppie a moment.
Can you find a way to high ground?
Well, yes, Oppie, we can. So obviously, like, the vast majority of the HUD and sort of critical information is placed physically into the car, and that's something that we really wanted to do to kind of further enhance that sort of reliance on the car and relationship to the car. Like, if you need to consult your car in order to get the information that you need in order to know how to help your car, then it just like strengthens that connection, especially when you then kind of go and work on it with your hands and actually do the repairs yourself manually. You know, early on in our prototyping, we had a system that was like much more of like pull up a full screen UI, and once we first built the like kind of hand-based car maintenance stuff, we were like, yep, this is the game. There's no going back.
I found just enough flares to get me close.
Perfect.
So jumping down into the
It's like
pit
some cool
was
designer made it this way.
super good. Yeah, you know, our designer, just so talented, you know, handsome even, I would say. A little mischievous at times.
Yeah, I've never witnessed that.
With the advice that they give players, you know, drive into a radioactive pit. That's
Are the flares here or not?
man,
You might need a pry bar for that one.
I didn't say I didn't find any. I just, you know, I was complimenting our unnamed designer.
I think you have enough actually too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I think you can make your headlight. I think we can make a pry bar as well, and we'll crack that trunk open just to, you know, it's good to have a couple spares.
Yeah, awesome. 2 headlights. Gonna make a pry bar. Wow. Love it. Oh yeah.
It's this one over here, I think. Yeah.
No.
In
That
the
one?
radiation.
Yeah.
You know, the one in the radiation.
Yeah. There's got to be something good in here.
Yeah. See,
There's
look
a
at all
bunch of
that.
good stuff. Yeah, flares, things that I need. Okay.
All right, we're starting to claw our way back, get ourselves into decent shape.
Do you know how many times I've forgotten to close the trunk and just driven away?
Oh, so many. My personal play style is to never ever put the car in park, which definitely never goes poorly.
Yep. I mean, that's why I died. I was trying to eat beans, and the car ran away. I keep calling them beans. They're rations. They're MREs. It's not all beans all the time.
There's plenty of beans though.
Yeah.
If you want beans, we got beans.
All right. Let's sneak through this fence here.
Yeah, we can follow this road up, see if we can find a way, maybe up around.
Some of that classic map planning. Looks like there's a bunch of houses and stuff here.
Yeah,
too.
maybe swing by there on the way, see if we can grab a few more resources. Don't want to come back too empty-handed after our last incident.
Well, we were. I mean, you were talking about being behind the wheel, and all the information that
thank you.
has to get conveyed to the player. No, it's okay. We've talked a few times about how much stuff we have.
So everything's kind of like placed in front of you in the car. Like we wanted it to be a really embodied, immersive experience. And you know, like it also does a lot to kind of enhance that plate spinning aspect that so many survival games rely on, because you're having to monitor so many little bits of information that are all like individually important but not like domineering necessarily. So you have to keep an eye on the car health display in the center console there, and we can see like there's a status effect, it looks like, on both of our left side doors as well as the engine.
Wait, my engine's not doing good?
It's got something going on.
Okay. Well, I listen. I was worried about my headlights, and that killed me. Let's
classic misdirection.
Yeah, check on the in. Oh, I need an electrician's kit.
So it's got a spark plug issue.
Shorted spark plug, which is a real thing. You gotta make sure. Look at that.
All right, plenty.
Aren't
plenty
we glad
to go
that
around.
we researched this and we made it nice? Cool. Fixed.
Sweet. So yeah, you can kind of keep an eye on how your car's doing through that screen. The little like oscilloscope thing just to its left shows you kind of the amount of radiation in the area. Light radiation will damage the player if the player is out on foot or if the car is like totally dilapidated. Medium and kind of heavier radiation will damage the car itself as well. So you'll want to keep stay a little careful on that front. We've got like a big black rectangle right now that shows you kind of like the warning lights, some of which will be familiar from cars in real life, and others might be a little more unusual.
Into the fence we go.
Oh, yep. And through the fence we go. Not over the cliff, though. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, concrete fence. Goodness.
May I suggest putting the car in park and maybe checking this house out as long as we're here?
Yeah, you know, as long as this guy gives me the time of day.
He's not going to do anything.
Yeah, sure. Let's get some more stuff.
Toolbox, nice. Ooh, free pry bar.
Yeah. Somebody left a TV outside on the curb. Fun fact, that was my first Xbox 360 setup. I found a TV on the side of the road.
Excellent.
And I just brought it upstairs. It was like 13 inches. Tiny little guy.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
All right. I think we can probably
Ooh.
get a move on at this point.
The fog has
Oh, yeah.
rolled in. Wow. Okay. That was really big
Good
visual
thing
change.
we have already gotten eyes on Cappy, so we kind of know roughly where we need to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, mentioning earlier, like the time of day and weather systems. So often, like the sort of speed that the time of day advances, like the time that you arrive at a given junction is generally like the time that you're going to be in that level for. It does still advance, but it does so pretty slowly. So like if you arrive in a map and it's night, it's probably going to be night for the remainder of that little section. So you're going to want to either make sure you've got your headlights up and running or get out of there pretty quick. And then obviously, you know, like the fog can roll in and it can start raining and everything like that. And that can change your priorities. Like if you've got a flat and then you've just been kind of dealing with it, but then it starts raining, maybe that's not so viable anymore. So I think, yeah.
I think
you
I need
wanna
to go up here on the
cut
left.
here.
Yeah.
Narrowly avoiding yet another abductor.
They're just oh, come on! What?
I spoke too soon.
No,
I spoke
absolutely.
too
He's throwing
soon.
me through the same fence.
Oh gosh.
And into the town sign. Okay, please, no. Oh, good. We
right.
stopped.
Yeah. I think you can go through this gap just on the left here, though.
Yeah. I'm gonna chalk that one up to you, by the
That's-
way. That was totally your fault. He was leaving me alone, and then you were like, "Oh, you just slipped by." Psych. Like I got. Ugh. All right. Just driving through this little neighborhood here. No big deal. All right.
I'm sure this can like barrier fence and warning signs is not anything to worry about, right?
Restricted area.
What does that other one say?
I think it's keep
just
out.
keep out? Okay,
Danger.
yeah, cool.
I'm good.
Definitely.
Yeah. No, I make my own decisions. Well, these guys are here. I bet they're not.
They're here to
supposed be
see some
either.
sights, just
yeah,
the same as us.
absolutely.
What's that one?
So this is looking pretty science-y. Research Station E. Let's hop out, check stuff out. I mean, there's a lot of
Yeah, I don't
tourists
know if we
here.
want to linger too long
Yeah.
here.
What now?
How about launching the car into Cappy's core?
I'm sorry.
Oppie
It's
is
simple.
trying to kill me.
The driver jumps the car into the heart of the
Yeah.
anomaly. And if I
Gotta
find
be.
a
Yeah,
gun,
she's
I'll
gonna
get
extract you,
away
it's
and
fine.
extract them.
Yeah.
And if you don't?
I've run some calculations. I think it
See?
should be fine.
Should be fine.
Should be
That's
fine.
Like they always say.
Yeah, that's the scientific method, right? Should be fine.
Annihilation.
Who says that exactly? In no way, shape, or form should we be doing this.
Well, but you know, if it's the only way, you got this kid for it.
What?
Alright.
I love the.
You heard the man.
I love the confidence. Okay.
It looks like we might need to take this barricade down first, though.
Yeah, it says open the barricade from the control tower to access the bridge and then launch into the anomaly. What are these guys doing over here? What is this guy pointing at? What are you? Oh, big pipes. Cool. Have I scanned these guys yet? Yeah.
Oh, what? Hold on.
Wait. What? What's going on? Whoa!
No, thank you.
Not a fan of that.
Do you still want to explore these buildings? And
I mean, I kind
do
of
some
want to
looting?
explore them, yeah, but if I'm going to get trapped and exploded in some kind of freak mannequin accident, no, not really.
Yeah, maybe
Alright.
let's just go into this here tower and see what we got.
Let's head up here. All right, very dark. Oh, did I take everything out of my
You packed
backpack?
so effectively.
God, need my flashlight, man. I want to get all the cool stuff. Oh, sorry. No, my flashlight is
It's a relightable flare, please.
Relightable flare, yes. Very important distinction. When you MacGyver things, you have to call them the right thing. 'Cause how are you, you know... Nobody's got a working flashlight anymore. There we go. Awesome. Ooh, math. Stuff in the locker. All right. That looks neat.
Some old equipment here. Looks like this switch that I should probably get us sorted.
Big red button.
Yeah, that's usually a good idea.
Yeah. Oh, hey, yeah, the gate went down.
Sweet.
Cool. Launching into the anomaly. That's all I got left to do.
Let's do the thing.
All right. Well, hopefully this goes better than the other time when
I don't know what you mean. I thought that went swimmingly.
It didn't go great. Seth, I just think you like watching people really try.
I mean, look, it's not like I've worked on any games in the past where that might be.
Yeah, like I think the story's here what's most important. All right, so I'm gonna, slowly approach. I don't want to trigger too much. There's a lot of stuff going on. Just gonna slow. Nope, not slow. Going in. Cool. We're dead. We gotta be. Nope, just kidding. Oh!
Perfect timing, garage door. Thank you.
We lived!
So yeah, we've done a little bit of research.
Does jumping into, like, unexplained, unexplored scientific anomalies, does that count as research?
It definitely does. Yeah.
Okay.
It's the same school of science as red makes fast.
Yeah, and should be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything's still here. All right.
All things considered, car's in okay shape.
Yeah. Wow, yeah, much better shape than last time. We did pretty good.
So at this point, I think we're gonna wrap up the video. But Blake, if you want to head over to the status monitor and activate your checklist, and you can kind of like see how this starts to become your routine, and you can kind of give yourself this little checklist of things to go and do before you kind of head back out on the road and plan your next destination, everything like that. But yeah, like I said, we're gonna wrap it up here. Thank you so much for watching.
Make sure you check out the demo that's available right now as part of Steam Next Fest. You'll be able to play that until February 12th. And then the game comes out on February 22nd, 2024. We'll be on Steam, PlayStation, and the Epic Games Store. Hope you guys have enjoyed this special presentation of all of our fun gameplay stuff, despite my driving errors. And we'll see you on the next loop of the video.
May the next trip go a little smoother.
Why do you gotta do that? Why do you gotta like just curse me a little bit every time?